And let's talk more about it now with Florida's Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Congresswoman, it's a great day to have you on. There's a lot to talk about. You obviously are a Congresswoman from Florida, so just give us your reaction as to what you just heard from the state Supreme Court.
Well, I'm elated that the more than 1 million Floridians who signed a petition to get the abortion rights amendment to our Constitution on the ballot are going to have pushed and successfully pushed for an opportunity for voters across the state to make sure that politicians, the government, and judges are not allowed to be involved in deeply personal healthcare decisions for families. And with the unfortunate, really devastating decision that the Supreme Court has allowed the 15-week abortion ban passed by the Republican-led legislature and signed by the governor to take effect, and 30 days later we'll essentially have a total abortion ban here with a 6-week abortion ban in Florida. Ryan, I can tell you that with my own third child, I didn't know I was pregnant until I was 8 weeks pregnant. And so essentially that's a total abortion ban. It's a very clear line of demarcation now, though. The stakes with the Supreme Court's decision are much higher on the results of this amendment, and people across the philosophical spectrum in Florida will go to the polls because we'll have a total abortion ban here for 6 months. And I think voters will go to the polls in November and tell governments, politicians, and judges to stay out of their personal health care decisions.
I mean, it is going to be a difficult task, though, for you and your fellow Democrats, because it's not just a simple majority in order to get abortion rights codified into your Constitution. You need 60%. And then you also have a competitive Senate race that you're dealing with there, Senator Rick Scott, up this November. Do you think Democrats are going to take advantage of this? Is this going to get Democratic voters to the polls? And this has been difficult for Florida Democrats over the past couple of cycles.
Well, one thing I know is that this is not a partisan issue. This is an issue that in, I think, 9 out of 9 votes statewide on issues that came down on abortion rights across the country since the overturning of Roe versus Wade, abortion rights has won in red states, in blue states, in purple states. And I think that we'll be successful here, even with a 60% threshold, although that's certainly not a slam dunk, because it's not just Democrats that believe that we should be not having the government at our pharmacy counters or in our doctor's offices with us. This issue cuts across the philosophical spectrum. You have Republicans, independents, and Democrats who believe that these are deeply personal decisions that need to be made between a woman, her family, her doctor, and her faith.
Now, this is a state where Governor DeSantis won by 20 points 2 years ago. Obviously, abortion now going to be a big driver. But do you still need to appeal to some Republicans on the issue?
Oh, of course. And it's, like I said, this is not a partisan issue. This does cut across party lines and, really significantly is supported across people of no party affiliation as well. And so this is not a cut and dry, black and white. Republicans will go and oppose the amendment and Democrats will go and support it. That's why I think we have a much better chance to pass this constitutional amendment, because it cuts across party lines, and people, no matter their party affiliation, don't want politicians, judges, and the government in their deeply held healthcare decisions. The other issue is that if you look at who signed the constitutional amendment, Ryan, 20% of those that signed the petition to put it on the ballot were Republicans. Mm-hmm. So there's a healthy percentage of Republicans that support making sure that people can make their own reproductive health care decisions without government interference. All right, and now we'll have a total, so it's going to be very impactful.
All right, let's turn now to your recent trip to Israel. You and a bipartisan group of your colleagues met with Prime Minister Netanyahu last week. I want to play some of what the Prime Minister said after that meeting.
Victory is within reach. It's a few weeks away. Now we are told, this is it, last point. Now we are told, you can't do this. If you go into Rafah, you're going to have a humanitarian catastrophe. You're going to have, 30,000 civilian dead. Okay. That's not true. That is simply not true. All of the Gaza Strip north of Rafah, people move down, they can move back up. They don't have to go into north of Wadi Gaza, but there's still 65% of the Gaza Strip left open. And people just move. They move with their tents.
Congresswoman, many in your party have serious concerns. I mean, the President of the United States has serious concerns about an offensive in Rafah. What is your reaction, especially after meeting with the Prime Minister, that he seems intent on this attack at some point, and then almost immediately after canceling an Israeli delegation visit to Washington? What's next?
Brian, let me share with you what we did in Israel last week. I had the opportunity to lead a women members trip to Israel. Those meetings that you saw with Prime Minister Netanyahu were with a broader delegation as well. But we went to the site of the Nova Festival, where 360 young people were slaughtered and burned and raped in cold blood by Hamas terrorists. We went to the site of Kfar Aza, where people were burned alive in their homes and killed, and 40 of them were taken hostage. We had an opportunity to talk to families. We went to Hostage Square, where there are vigils every single day to push for the hostages coming home. Life in Israel is still upside down. You have people who've been called up, leaving their businesses and their jobs and going into the reserves. I mean, Israel is well within its right to defend itself, to make sure that the threat of Hamas is destroyed, so that they don't have a terrorist threat living on their doorstep. There are 4 battalions in Rafah of Hamas fighters, Hamas combatants, and that appears to be near the last stages of the war. And Israel is committed, as the Prime Minister told us, to making sure that the civilians in Rafah are moved out of harm's way, that Israel was going to, as they have throughout this war, and as they always do, take the time and the effort comprehensively to get as many civilians out of harm's way. But keep in mind that Hamas prevents intentionally a lot of them from moving because they use their own people as human shields, because they don't have any regard.
Congresswoman, respectfully, though, I mean, the idea that they can just pick up in tents and move from one side of the region to another, and that there's no serious risk, as the Prime Minister suggested there, not to mention the lack of food and shelter that they have. Is it a bit more complicated than that? I mean, this could be a serious humanitarian crisis if the Rafah invasion happens.
Respectfully as well, no, it is not as simple as you are describing, or as in that clip you showed, as Prime Minister Netanyahu described to us. It is going to take some time. The process of moving, in fact, Israel is even jeopardizing its own ability to eradicate and destroy the threat that Hamas represents by being responsible and understanding that they want to make sure that they can minimize civilian casualties as much as they can, all while Hamas prevents them from doing that because they don't care about their own people. And so that process of getting people out of harm's way to the maximum extent possible would take some time before, my understanding, a Rafah operation would begin. And Israel is, as they have and has been described by experts in warfare repeatedly, that they have done consistently all the way through this conflict after being brutally attacked.
Okay, Congresswoman, we're going to have to leave it there. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.